Hey everybody, how you guys? Well, it's been a while since I've done a vlog video. I've been busy with school and stuff, so I couldn't be able to post stuff as much as I want to. But I'm here to do 2 movie reviews. Now, before we get started, I just want to give some quick shout-outs to some people. Oh, I can't pronounce his name. It's TsukihimeReighn. I don't know. But he posted a nice comment on my stream inspired by both for my Valentine video. xXDxcourtneyxXDx, aka Courtney, who goes to my school. She's an awesome person. Sometimes the audio in her videos is kind of weird, but she's a very cool person. I don't watch too many of her videos, but she goes to my school. She's an awesome person. She left me some nice comments. Check her out. Crazzibri, who left a nice comment on my me singing Route 66 video, and Friends 9712. I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name right. He's a talented singer. I saw his video, a cover of Jar of Hearts by Christina Perri. You know, there are a few parts to whoever your name is where you were kind of off, but overall I think you did pretty good. You're a pretty good singer. So anyway, check these people out. Add them as friends. Subscribe. URLs will be in the description box down below. Now, back to our first movie review. And before I start my first movie review, I want you guys to really... Okay, anybody who was between the ages of 5 and 8 in the year 2003, I want you to go back practically into your subconscious. I want you to remember when you were watching TV, walking through the video stores, whatever, and you eventually came across and you wanted to you were begging your parents to see this. Don't try to act like you haven't seen this. Every kid basically around this time had. Hopefully you can see this. I mean, it was in every video store, every DVD store. It was on trailer for the TVs all the time, and kids were talking about it like it was no tomorrow. Good boy. Now, I saw this a while back when I was a kid, and like I said, it was at the time when people were really kind of talking about it, especially I was in 2nd grade at the time. Everyone was talking about it, but basically a year passed, maybe 2 years passed. No one really seems to talk about it or acknowledge it anymore. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? How does it hold up? Well, I'll tell you. Basically, if you don't know by now, the movie is called Good Boy. If you haven't seen the title, it's called Good Boy. It's a 2003 talking animal movie, and basically it's about this kid named Owen, played by Liam Aiken, who his parents are renovators to houses. They renovate houses so that they can sell them, and then they're basically what do you call nomads or whatever? Those people that don't settle in one place, they move from place to place. Because they're renovators, so whenever they renovate a house, get it sold, they move to the next place. So they kind of live there because it's financially good for them to live in a place where they're renovating, which actually kind of makes sense. And basically, he doesn't have a lot of time to make friends, so if he can make a friend or two, then that's fine. But when we see him, he's a dog walker, and when we see he's doing this, because I guess he wanted a dog, and so he did a job as a dog walker so that he can convince his parents to get a dog, and he ends up getting a dog, but it ends up being this one dog by the name of Hubble, who he seems pretty normal. I mean, he does seem out of the ordinary, like a weird kind of howl, because actually when he first meets him, because he comes down from this, actually I'm not going to reveal that yet, but he's kind of walking around the sidewalks and make this weird howl while he's walking the other neighborhood dogs, and so he ends up in the pound, and so Owen and his family go to the pound to get the dog that he wanted, and so it was originally going to be this weird, bloodhound, kind of weird looking, but he ends up seeing Hubble in the pound, and so he decides to snatch him and make that his dog. But then one night, Hubble starts to sneak away out of the house, so Owen follows him, and so you see him. He's fronted this weird kind of little spaceship thing, and all of a sudden this burst of blue light passes out, and then the next morning he realizes that his dog can talk now, and he's voiced by Matthew Broderick, and basically what happened was there was a thing called the woofer, that's kind of funny, when that blue burst of light, it got Liam in the current, So now he can communicate with dogs now, because then he's like, come on, this can't be real. Dogs don't start talking all of a sudden, and then he starts walking his dogs, and all of them are start talking and everything. And basically, he finds out that his name's not Hubble. His name is Kanan3942, and that he's from the home star that dogs. Basically, what happened was thousands of years ago, dogs came from that home star down to Earth to colonize and dominate our planet. And so, like, he keeps down from the home star because he's trying to study the behaviors of dogs, because he heard rumors, because the Greater Dane, who's like the leader of the home star, heard rumors that upset, because dogs are supposed to be dominant to people, but people aren't supposed to be dominant of dogs. They're not supposed to have dogs as pets. And so, he's kind of there to study, watch if they are pets or not, and basically give him a report and then go back. But things end up getting crazy, and so he's on the Earth for a while. Basically, it's him kind of like communicating with the other dogs and trying to, because the Greater Dane is going to come down to the Earth and do an inspection of her own. And if they don't like shape up or whatever, then they'll do this thing. Actually, I'm not gonna mention it later. There's one part of this review I'll mention about all the flaws, but whatever. That's basically what the movie is about, and that's one of the problems with this movie is the plot. You can't hear this plot and then look at it with a straight face. It's not possible, because, like, sorry, I've been also fighting a cold, so if I start coughing like a maniac, then whatever. But anyway, dogs came from a star, want to take over our planet. You can't look at that with a straight face. I mean, like that's the main problem. It really is the plot. Like, it's the overall, like, the premise overall is, I guess, kind of inspired, but it's just so, you just look at it, like, when you're watching and you hear them going, we're from the home star and everything, and you're just sitting there like, you know, like, what was I smoking before I watched the movie? And also, there's a few problems I have with the plot. Not just of, like, the plot overall, but, like, the ways they handle the plot. First of all, like, later in the movie, Owen asks Hubble, like, how can dogs run an entire planet all on their own? They never bring that up. Like, that's a good point. Why? How can dogs rule? Okay, like, I'm sure our planet's probably a lot bigger than theirs. How can they? How can dogs, like, smaller than us, not, I guess, as he says, not that too much intelligence, conquer a human race? Explanation, please, you know? And also, the whole thing about the star, no one knew about this before? Like, I mean, that wouldn't be like that. I mean, we're obsessed with, like, getting, like, going to space a bajillion times and, like, seeing all the things we can see and everything, and we didn't even see the star, the freaking star, so craziness. It makes no sense at all. And he talks about, like, that the Greater Dane's coming for inspection, and then, like, Owen asks later in the movie, when was the last time she visited? Oh, it was ages ago. Wouldn't she have, like, a sooner visit? Like, okay, dogs have been pet for I don't know how long, okay? She wouldn't have come, like, ages earlier to do the inspection? Like, she waited until the 2003 to come? It makes not much sense. Hubble, who's supposed to be this, like, really, like, pretty smart, intelligent, like, member of this planet, and he never does anything on this planet. Like, I mean, like, he's supposed to be this fantastic person. He just teaches the dogs. Like, he can jump kind of pretty high, but that doesn't seem too out of the ordinary. Sorry. And I think it would be more interesting if he did things that were out of the ordinary. Because just teaching, anyone can teach, basically. And, like, why not just do other things apart from that? Like, why not, like, do something to whatever? I don't know what you would do. But do something that would convince us that you're from another planet. You know, just because having that rock on that little rock necklace on your neck and like saying that you're like the woofer and everything. Do other things, you know, and I mean, what was it? I mean, I'm trying to think. There's one other thing. Um, I forget. Okay. I'll probably come back to me later. But I can't remember what that thing was called. No, wait. I was gonna talk about something. I'm trying to think. I can't think of it. If there is something, I'll come back to it later. But whatever. Whatever. Even though the movie, and also, there's like of course there has to be the stereotypical bully. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't think I mentioned. No, I didn't mention this. This is what I came to talk to you about. So they talk about global recall. That if they don't have an inspection, if they don't give the Greater Dane a proper welcome for her inspection, then they'll have to do global recall, where all the dogs are going to be sent back to the home star for punishment and retraining. Why not just stay on Earth? You know, what will she do if you don't stay on Earth? I mean, what are the alternatives? Is there? I mean, what are the extremity, the severities of it if you don't go back on the home star? What, will she kill you? I mean, if you're gonna make rules like this, fine, all power to you. But you have to have legitimate alternatives like we do. I mean, it makes no sense. If you're gonna, sorry, if you're gonna do something like this, single out your options. Make alter. I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, as you can see. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Even though there are so many things, the plot is really pretty preposterous. You know, I mean, anyone could tell you that. You know, and also another thing I like is when the Owen and a friend of his need proof that what the dogs are saying are true, and all they do is go to this like little area where the ship crashed, and it's just there's like, okay, whatever, and like it could have been anything. Like it could have been a weird model kit that crashed or something. Just because they say it. I mean, you know, actually, no, I'm kidding. You know what? No, forget that statement. It's not possible. Anyway, even though there are so many, the plot is so preposterous, and there are a lot of flaws with the plot. I thought it was good. I mean, you know, it could have been a lot worse, you know. And I mean, and I know people don't really care for talking animal movies a whole lot. Like I know Roger Ebert and Richard Roper like put this on like their worst of lists. I thought it was good. I mean, I thought the CGI. I mean, there were certain parts where you can tell that the mouth movements was kind of CGI. Overall, the mouth movements wasn't that bad. The CGI is pretty decent for a kids film. And I mean, the acting I thought like was pretty good. I mean, Kevin Nealon I thought was kind of had a weird style of acting. Like there was one scene where Owen's like, he's really smart, Dad. And he's like, oh, hate to tell you this, but everyone thinks they got the smartest dog in the universe. I don't know what it is, but for some reason I think that's a really weirdly timed scene. I don't know. I mean, Molly Shannon's pretty good. Like Liam Aiken, I mean, he's good. I mean, for kids film standards, he's pretty good. But I will say one thing: he has a weird style of acting where his eyes, in a way, like it's like he smoked a joint before he came on screen. Like just like, wow, I have a dog named Hubble. Isn't that amazing? Oh no! Like there's just weird, like his eyes were, I don't know, they were kind of weird, but over that I thought he was pretty good. Also, one more thing I have to discuss about the plot. No, oh whatever. There's, do I want to spoil that or not? Maybe I don't. You know, I'm not gonna spoil it. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it. No, I'm not gonna spoil it. Just forget about it. The voiceovers I thought were pretty good. Like I thought Matthew Broderick was pretty good. I thought I'm trying to Donald. I think my favorite one, in my opinion, was Donald Faison as the one as Wilson. Just because I don't know, I think he was the one who probably enjoyed his role the most. I think Delta Barker, whoever plays the voices, Barbara Ann, the poodle, Shep's voiced by Carl Reiner, Nellie's voiced by Brittany Murphy. Rest in peace. Anyway, Cheech. Oh, this is really weird. Like Great Dane's assistant, who's voiced by TsukihimeReighn, and it's like that was weird, but I thought he was pretty good. Vanessa Redgrave, who sometimes kind of sounds like a man, I thought she did pretty good for her voiceover and everything. Some part, I thought the most part, the voiceovers were good. I mean, I liked the voiceovers. Let me say, I really these bullies. I mean, there are the stereotypical like kind of bullies in this. I swear they just got like the most generic, stupidest bullies ever, like in a kids film. Cause I mean the older kid seemed like he was having fun with his role. I mean he was good, but he's like because Owen walks by and it's like good morning Frank, cause that's the bully's name, and he'll be like good morning loser. Like it just makes no sense. Like he just calls him names and stuff for like no reason. There's no leading. He's like they're like what a freak, whatever. It's like and let me see the character of the younger books. There's like an older bully and there's like the younger one. I swear this kid was only here to just copy the other one's sentence. Like it's like the old kid will be like what a freak, and the little kid will be like yeah what a freak and everything. And also I gotta bring up a few more flaws with the plot. I mean, I know I keep talking about the plot flaws, but this one actually connects with the bullies. The bullies, like they hit a ball into Owen's yard. They go to get it, and they're trying to get the dogs to get it from the older kid takes rocks and throws it at Hubble, and later on, Hubble says to Owen, why did you do that? Serious dogs fight their own battles. Why would you put yourself at risk? Like, what? Like, fight your own battles? You didn't even do anything. You say you fight your own battles, and you sit there and got pelted by rocks. Like, is that your phobia? Or you're just I'm tough and I can do anything. But when rocks are thrown at me, I'm afraid and scared so bad. Like, fight your own battles then. Don't get pelted by rocks. Bite them in the ass or something. Which I'll talk about later. Actually, right now. Another thing, a plot flaw that connects with the bullies. The bullies, they have the dogs. Before I talk about the flaw with the plot, these bullies. I mean, screw bullies. They're like sadists. Like they throw rocks at Hubble. They like take him and like want to shave him. I mean, like what the hell? I mean, I'm sure. What if they have like dead babies in their closet that they laugh at occasionally? I mean, like this is like I said, screw bullies. That's just like screwed up. Like anyway, the dogs and like the Owen and his best friend, Hubble gets away from them after trying to get a buzz cut, and the dogs chase him around the town or whatever, and they're chasing him. And by the way, Shep, one of the dogs bites him in the ass, but they go through Owen's garage where there's like laughing gas in there. It knocks over and makes all the dogs loopy. And earlier they say, you don't want to knock this over, make y'all pretty goofy. Why was it in there to begin with? Like, what requires you for laughing gas? What, you're gonna like, when Owen's bad, you're gonna like, laugh him to death or whatever? Like, it makes no sense, but, yeah. Really generic bullies, and like the older one had fun with this role. The younger one, he was okay, but not really. I don't think there's any more I can say. I mean, it's the plot. It's a kids film. The plot is kind of stupid. There are flaws aplenty, but overall, I like it. I thought, like I said, for a talking animal movie, I thought it was good. I mean, like I said, the CGI some parts were kind of like obvious. And although I will say one thing, it's neat that the mouth movement CGI. It's neat that the mouth movements can like almost speak for them. It's like I do think they could do more with the eyes, but I think it's neat that when the mouths move, the eyes kind of speak for them. I like that. I mean, I thought it was clever. So overall, if you're an adult, you really shouldn't be watching this. But if you have a kid and you really wants to see it, if he's even heard of it, because no one probably even speaks of it anymore. But if you have a young kid who really wants to see a movie like this, put it on, watch it with them. You may you get a kick out of it. Like it's for little kids. I'm like I said, I like it. I mean, I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I do like the movie. There are flaws with the plot, but it's a movie. It's for kids. It works for kids. I liked it when I was a kid. I like it now. The good things pretty much kind of outweigh the bad things about it, which there aren't. Even though there are flaws with the plot, overall there's not really that many flaws with the overall movie itself. I don't know. I liked it. It's a nice little movie. It's like I said, if you have kids, I'd say check it out for them. If you're older, probably shouldn't watch it. But if you got little kids, it's for them. It's for a movie that's for them. Now, the second movie I'm going to be reviewing. The next movie I'm reviewing is Eddie Murphy Raw. Now, this is a 1987 comedy film. It's basically a follow-up to the movie he did in 1983 called Delirious. And basically, it's a concert film. It actually starts out with like a little sketch, like it's like 1968 and it's Thanksgiving, and like the kids are performing on a show for like the aunts and uncles and parents and stuff. And Eddie comes on and tells a joke about the lion and the monkey, like uh, the monkey climbs up the tree and makes the weather change by peeing on the lion's head and saying it's raining, farting is thunder, and crapping is snowing. And then the lion makes the stars come up by kicking him in the ding ding. And it starts out with that little skit. And after you can see a few famous people in there. Tatiana Ali from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Samuel Jackson. Like, I don't know, there's not too many big names, but it's got a couple. And then we cut to present day where like it's the audience. It starts with the audience are getting ready to see the concert, and then we actually see the concert film. And it's stand-up comedy film. It's him at the Felt Forum just performing an act. Like, what more can you say, really? I mean, it's a stand-up concert film. If what more can you say? I mean, really, this is actually a shorter review than the last movie, but whatever. What else can you say? But personally, I really, really love this movie. This movie, it's really one of those movies where if I ever make a list of like comfort films, like if I'm feeling down or sad one day, just put it on and may lift my spirits. This is one of them. Like I've been watching this movie lately, just over and over and over and over again. Like it's hilarious. Like I think, I think this is, my opinion, Eddie Murphy. Like there's so many like great quotable lines in this, like the him doing impressions of Mr. T, Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby. There's the whole skit about a wife wanting half her husband's wealth and everything. A skit about his mother making him a house burger and it not being as good as the McDonald's hamburger. Like just like so many great things. Like so many, like the scene where Eddie gets in a fight and so he calls up his stepfather who's drunk, and then he talks about how his stepfather's father like didn't make much money and they had to eat and wear toys. Like so many great quotable lines. Like, I bleeped her. You want me to say that? I bleeped her. I bleeped her. All right. Now let's talk about that word for a minute. I bleeped her. I make love to you. Like just hilarious. Love those lines. And like I said, what more can you say? It's just my opinion. I think this is like the best stand-up comedy film I've seen. I mean, I haven't seen too many, but this is just hilarious. And it's directed by this guy named Robert Townsend, who I don't think he's done a whole lot. He did the movie Hollywood Shuffle, The Five Heartbeats, The Meteor Man. So I think he knows about. He's done a lot of like African American movies. So you can definitely tell that he really knows. Even though I haven't seen a whole lot of like those kind of movies that he directed. Um, it seems like that he knows how to handle these African American actors well, and like I said, great movie. I think this is Eddie Murphy's best film because I mean I've seen his other work, Shrek. I love. I mean, like I haven't seen. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen 48 Hours, Trading Places. I actually just recently bought Beverly Hills Cop, but I haven't watched that one yet. Actually, I think next week I'm gonna review the movie Delirious. I'm gonna watch it. If not tonight, then sometime this week. I'm gonna review that because this movie. Now I want to watch. Um, that original movie because I heard that one was really funny too. Um, but anyway, like it's just a hilarious movie. I think this is his best film because I think stand-up comedy can be a little better than written work. Like for example, Larry the Cable Guy. Like he can do some be really funny on stand-up, but that movie, that witness protection film, was just crap. So anyway, I think comedians work well because with a movie, like they can still be funny as always and they can improvise, but they still kind of go by the guidelines of the script. With stand up, it's stand up. If you write it, you can do anything you want with it. You can and they really take the chance of going all out because there's like they say the F word like every it says it's contained the use of the F word 223 times, and I think it was like the most. It's like the most uses of the F word in an '80s movie. It surpasses Scarface, which that's saying a lot. Um, sorry, damn, excuse me. But like I said, and when it's like stand-up comedy is better than film, cause like stand-up comedy you can go all out, and I really like the fact that they really take advantage of stand-up comedy and they go all out. They don't care who they offend or how they offend. It's comedy, and I love this movie. This is 4 stars. I mean, it's definitely up there in like the top best comedies of all time. Like Eddie Murphy, in my opinion, not only has an awesome like impression of a white voice, but at one point he was like one of my favorite actor of all time. And I mean, I know some of his film choices now people are kind of like starting to question, and I saw Norbit and I liked Norbit. I know I'm probably one of the only people on the planet that like Norbit, but I like it, so don't judge me, alright? Don't judge me. But anyway, I know some of his film choices. Some are good by people say, some are kind of crap. Some people say like I know, and Adventures of Pluto Nash was the one that like was a real bomb and like whatever. But I said when he's doing stand up, usually people praise him. And this is his best one because it's his own stuff. He gets to be all out, and it's hilarious. I don't think he's ever been funnier. And like I said, I think I could definitely see this movie. I think if you like Eddie Murphy stuff and can stand a lot of shock humor, because there's a lot of like obscenities and profanities and shock and curse words. If you can handle that and handle Eddie Murphy's material, you will love this movie. If you can't stand a lot of shock humor, like of curse words, if you don't like Eddie Murphy, then stay far, far away from this movie. But it's definitely for Eddie Murphy Raw fans. And if you don't even know who Eddie Murphy Raw is, watch this film. I know some people say, watch 48 Hours, watch Train Places. No, watch this movie. This, I think, will give you an impression on how funny this guy can be. I'm sure his other movies are fine, but like I said, I think his best movie outside of this is Shrek. I mean, I know I haven't seen his other classics. I love Shrek. He was so funny as Donkey. But anyway, like I said, watch this movie if you're not familiar with Eddie Murphy's stuff and really want to see how funny of a guy he can be. Watch this movie. It'll teach you everything you need to know about Eddie Murphy and how funny he can be. This 4 stars. Like I said, this is just I think it's like I said, it's just one of the funniest movies of all time, and definitely it's going to be in my top 10 favorite movies I reviewed this year. Well, I guess that's pretty much it for today. Sorry, it's probably a long video, but whatever. I have a lot to say. Now I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment box or video response down below. 1, have you seen Good Boy? 2, did you like Good Boy? 3, what is your favorite talking animal movie? My favorite, I know I'm going to get crap for this, but my favorite is Alvin and the Chipmunks 2, The Squeakquel. I know people didn't care for that movie much. I loved it. I thought it was a cute movie. I did a whole separate review on it, so if you want to watch it, you can. It's hilarious. Well, it's not hilarious, but it's like I love it. Just check it out. Just check it out. 4. Have you seen Eddie Murphy Raw? 5. Did you like Eddie Murphy Raw? 6. What did you think of Delirious? Because I'm gonna try and watch that. If not tonight, then tomorrow or sometime before I do my next vlog. And 7. What's your favorite Eddie Murphy movie? Like I said, my favorite is this one. But if you want it, but I'm sure you guys are gonna say 48 Hours, Trading Places, and that's fine. I haven't seen those yet, so I can't judge them. But I'm sure that they're great. Just let me know down below. Well, I guess that's pretty much it. See ya. Bye.